Hello and welcome to the monthly interview program that features outstanding members of the mineral community, including collectors, dealers, artists, photographers, and more. We aim to shine a light on the lesser-known mineral people that certainly deserve to be shown. This program is presented by the Young Mineral Collectors. I'm your host, Matthew Parshchikov from Cologne, Germany, and this is Under the Radar. Hello everyone, welcome back to the show. Today's guest is a collector from Colorado who focuses on pegmatite minerals. This is because he field collects them on his rock hounding trips. He also has his own business made of minerals where he sells parts of his collected stuff and uh, just inventory that he sources from other places. Please welcome my friend Jesse Sansevere. Hey Jesse, how are you?
Hi, Matt. I'm doing great. How are you?
Happy to have you on the show. I'm great too.
Thank you. I'm so excited. Thank you for having me.
This will be great. I know you have
Oh,
some
yeah.
really cool things to show today, so let's start where I always start. How did you
Okay.
get into mineral collecting?
How did I get into mineral collecting? I believe I was pretty fresh out of high school, and my friends that were guys were making jewelry with natural stones. And I had no idea guys making jewelry. And I thought it was super interesting. They would start showing me natural specimens like tanzanite, spessartine garnets, moldavites that they were putting into jewelry. And I was fascinated that they had the natural geometry to them. And then they told me I can go out and I could dig some of these minerals myself. And I was starting to connect with nature a lot more. I grew up skateboarding in the city, New York City, Connecticut. And once I started moving back to going hiking and stuff like that, I realized I could go out and I could rock hound. And that was fascinating because it's like the thrill of the hunt, treasure finding, treasure hunting, and it really took off from there. And I actually started to learn more about the geology and different minerals and the gem and mineral world, where I could go and see these things in person at shows.
Nice. So, did you go out alone rock hounding?
I definitely had guidance from a few of my friends early on. We had, this was when I was living in Connecticut. I was probably 20 years old, and there are quarries and old mines and other spots that people would prospect. So we had a little variety of what we can go look for, and it happened to be quartz crystals. Um, I found a little piece of topaz that I had identified by Stefan Niklaus, I believe you say his last name, the head mineralogist of Yale Peabody in New Haven. He
Oh,
invited us into the lab behind the scenes. He identified this little rock I found. It was a small piece of topaz on matrix, and it was just kind of eye opening. I had never looked into anything about this. Next thing I know, I'm in a little scientific laboratory. He's showing me flats of rocks. It was all very new to me,
do you
and
still
I
have
was
that?
hooked.
Do you still have that small specimen, the topaz?
I do. It must be in a box somewhere of self-collected specimens from a long time ago. It had probably like iron oxide stains or whatever. I cleaned it. I ended up cleaning it like 10 years later, and it just made it colorless and boring. And I wish I had just kept it dirty. But that's kind of how the story goes a lot of times when you start experimenting with your rocks.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay. So, you have a collecting focus, right? So how
I'd
does that?
like to, yeah, I'd like to say my focus would be pegmatite minerals. Um, Not to say I'm opposed to digging hydrothermal quartz crystals and such and fluorites that aren't pegmatite, but I would say that's my focus for when collecting. And you can narrow it down to Colorado since I've been living here for over 9 years now, and I have an affinity to the Pikes Peak batholith. Yeah, I would say. How about that?
Yeah, that sounds great. Um, do you how ex why pegmatite?
Um, Living in the Denver metro, the Pikes Peak batholith, which produces the world famous Amazonite smoky quartz combos, everything from phenicites to topazes. I it's just right here. It's in my backyard. Technically, it's only an hour or so,
Okay.
and it's really about the pockets. I love the pockets and the clay and getting into the dirt. It's just a nostalgic thing at this point versus if I grew up somewhere different, I guess. And I just love I mean, tourmalines are producing pegmatite. Who doesn't love seeing something like that? I remember it must be 12 years ago. A friend sent me a video on YouTube of the guys spraying the water into the tourmaline pocket up in Maine, in northeast U.S., and just scooping out colorful tourmalines in the pocket clay, and it was just mind blowing. I had no idea that this is how natural gemstones were extracted from the earth. It never crossed my mind. And then these videos just started, it really opened my eyes to what mining is and how fun it could really be.
That's really cool. Where was it?
Maine, what is it, like Deer Hill, or I don't know the specific localities, but
Okay, okay.
uh,
Yeah.
we got the Northeast producing gem quality tourmaline specimens in pegmatite for probably the past century.
So you started out collecting by physically collecting rocks, going out and rock hounding. That's a cool start into a mineral into the mineral world, I think. Um, and now you do field collecting as a more of a professional thing, I'd say. So after you collect your rocks, you sell them, right?
Sure, I'd like to think I sell some of the rocks I dig, and it could be something noted as professional or semi-professional, but it certainly is fun and it helps fuel the business and the vision of where I want to take things to, and hopefully owning several mines someday that produce some world-class specimens. That would be great.
Yeah, yeah. Do you have?
But I also source material from around the world that I use as inventory. It doesn't have to specifically be pegmatite minerals, but I really enjoy the quartz varieties from the Alps per
Yes,
se. You know,
of course.
the Smokies from Mont Blanc or Switzerland. Some of the stuff that Italy produces, and that's really because between the beauty of that and then what it takes to collect it, the cristalliers that go to the top of the Alps with all the alpine climbing gear in the summer, but they're dealing with the snow and ice. It's just fascinating. That would be the pinnacle of mineral collecting in the field, is to
Oh,
be
so
at the top of the
yeah,
Alps.
you'd want to travel to Switzerland and collect some gwindels, right?
Sure, I'm gonna have to spend more time in Europe in these coming years.
That would be cool. Going back to to the start of your collecting career, did you have any mentors who guided you through your collecting journey?
I would say a couple close friends helped introduce me to different specimens. Um, it wasn't until I started to become aware of the region I live in, Colorado, and develop new friends in the community that like to dig the pegmatite out here, that I really got inspired to learn more about that. A close friend, Tim Mayer, he is a local rockhound prospector, mine owner, who has produced a ton of very notable specimens in his collection. And that really inspired me to get out, and he helped show me the ropes. And I was able to just be there when he made a bunch of discoveries, and it was great seeing him pull out gem topaz and smokies and filling a bag was pretty motivating.
That's cool. That's really cool. How many mines or claims or yeah, tell me about where do you collect and like who does it belong to?
So out here, we're able to prospect and mine on various BLM or national forest land that's open space. And other than that, we are visiting other friends' mining claims that they lease. And so we have a variety of different zones that we can go to within the region and that produce slightly different minerals. And when we go out of state, we're either visiting mines with permission, or same thing, we're out there prospecting on open ground to hopefully make next big discovery, and maybe it could be ours for a time being.
Okay, nice. How many, if you like, can you count how many places you've been to, how many different localities you have minerals from that you self-collected?
Well, it's certainly over a dozen, but I don't know if I've ever thought about the numbers particularly, but between Colorado, Connecticut, New York, New Mexico, Arizona, California, and Utah, it's kept me pretty busy over the seasons.
Nice.
But of course, I'd like to expand that more to Montana, Idaho, Washington State. California is huge. Only been to a couple places in California, and and then we could talk international. I did visit Brazil. I visited a few quartz mines and a tourmaline mine last year in 2023, and that was fun. I would love to spend more time where we actually get out with friends down there and go prospecting. I have a couple friends down there in Minas Gerais that are geologists. They sell minerals and they also go prospect. And so that I look forward to returning and doing that as well.
Great. Yeah. Traveling to Brazil, that's a great opportunity, of course. Yeah. Um, I see some cool cases behind you. What percentage is self-collected of your collection?
I would say at least half of it. I do have other sentimental pieces, maybe not with any particular focus, that I keep in my collection, but the cases behind me are mainly filled with self-collected specimens and other pieces that I kind of just hold dear to myself. And then you can't see it this way, but I have I have a rack with a bunch of flats. Some of it's inventory, some of it's personal collection. And
Of course.
yeah, I'd love to show you guys some stuff.
Yeah. Let's go back to the dealer part. You have inventory. How's
Yes.
your do you have a company, or is it just you?
So yeah, I'm the sole owner of Made of Minerals, and that's based here in Golden, Colorado. I have my inventory, which is partly self-collected, and then I source other material. I do really enjoy Brazilian material. I was just at the St. Marie show in June, and I acquired some nice smoky specimens from Mont Blanc, which I really enjoy smoky quartz for whatever it is, and the other associated minerals that come attached.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, that's great. Where can people find you in the internet?
So nowadays, I try to be on almost all the platforms. Uh, I like Instagram. You can find me at Made of Minerals on Instagram. I have a mining account, which is Crystal Dig Colorado. You can add me on Facebook. I like to pop into the different groups like COVID Home Gem Show and After the Rain Gems and such. And then, maybe I'll get a little more trendy on my TikTok, but it's not very active at the moment.
Do you have a website?
I do have a website. It is live. I'm editing it currently. By the time this comes out, my website will be filled with my about me and photos and journeys, and I have a shop section with some higher end specimens.
Nice. Okay.
But I also use Etsy and eBay
Mm-hmm.
to list minerals, and that gets me by. I also
Yeah.
like to do some Instagram live sales, and I do pop up at the gem and mineral shows in person.
Oh yeah, that's obviously great. At which shows are you? Can you can you find can we find
So
you?
in Tucson, the past 2 years, we've been at RMGM show, which is Sandra Gonzalez's show across from Mineral City. You can see me hanging out at Mineral City after the show closes. And then when you're here in Denver, I'm also at RMGM show, Sandra's show. Last year, I did the Hard Rock Summit. I will be there this year, but I will not have a booth. I'll just be attending.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys could catch me around at different dealers' booths, friends' booths, walking around, probably with a flat of rocks or a case, and be more than happy to show it off.
Great. All of the links, all of your socials will be in the description, so people can
Okay,
find you
sure.
easily. Yeah. Okay, let's now, I know
Thank you.
people want to see your rocks, so let's now show us some of your self-collected treasures, or rather your cases first, just for people, so people have an overview.
Sure. Should I turn the camera around
Yeah,
and
yeah, turn the camera.
review? All right, let me pull this up. So I took about 8 specimens out of my case, but I will turn the camera around and show you. So if there is any empty space, you guys will know that that's where I took something from. They do have a mirror, so I don't want to get the selfie shot.
Tell us about the rows while you're there.
About the rose? Okay. I have a small collection of cross crystals. Here we have
Okay.
a perfect cross of quartz. Very small thumbnail I collected in Connecticut. Here's an apatite cross. Smoky quartz from Diamantina.
Oh, yeah, nice.
A nice doubly terminated quartz with 2 pieces of schorl. Nice Japan law. I got my little azurite snowman. Tombstone fluorite, some hematite included, red feather lakes, kind of similar to the Orange River material.
Yeah.
Scepter. This is all self-collected stuff from Bingham, New Mexico, with quartz fluorite barite combo.
Oh, that's a beautiful one.
Nice smoky quartz from the Pikes Peak batholith. Mine this one this season.
You do like smoky quartz.
Oh, I sure do. I just love this little Clevelandite balls with the smoky on back. Double strike fluorite. Some Connecticut quartz. I have some various thumbnails that have been gifts or just personal collection. Another Japan law. This is a really nice sphere. I do like some polished material when it's really fine like this. Nice root seal inside. The case gets a little darker down here, but more large smoky quartz, pegmatite minerals.
I gotta say, the case is very cool. I mean, I like the shape and all that. It's like an old case, not one of these modern clean bricks, you know?
Thank you. I do like trying to go on the hunt for cases, these China cabinets, I think they call them. And the goal is to have a nice modern case someday, or build my own. But they definitely do. I do have lights that I could turn on. I'll have to drop the camera though. Topaz I mine, smokies, a friend gifted me an aqua, various other quartz.
Friend gifted me an aqua. Yeah, I wish I could say that.
I have a line
of
what's that?
What's the black chunk in the back?
Oh, it's black tourmaline schorl from Ichinga, Brazil, and has these hollow trigonic sections.
Very cool. Oh, wow. Yeah, I didn't recognize it as a schorl.
Yeah, pretty cool. I really like when the triangles appear on the minerals. This is a nice, notable quartz crystal. It's probably the largest quartz crystal I mined at the first locality I ever started digging at in Connecticut.
Oh, very
so
cool.
Kind of holds a special place.
Tell us about the emotion that you felt when you first saw that specimen in the ground.
Oh, it was we just had no idea. We had been mining. We'd been visiting this spot through the years for almost a decade, and we never really scratched the surface. We started getting down deeper, and large crystals started producing a couple of years ago, and we had no idea. For 8 years, we just thought they were little tiny ones, and then now big ones were coming out like this. Some of them with a lot of clarity and phantoms, and so it was just, we were ecstatic. We had no idea. It was like, wow, this has been under our feet the whole time.
Very cool. More smokies, like Gwindle.
More smokies, the Gwindle, and some more all self-collected smokies. So I just redid my room, and I just redid the cases, but now I'm getting ready for the Denver show. So I'm about to pack things up, redo the case, bring it to the booth.
Nice.
Yeah,
Bring all
it's
the
busy
smokies.
time.
All the smokies.
Yeah, there's some
I
good
saw you
ones in there.
had a chain dingling on your thing. Yeah, tell us about that. It looks great.
Oh, thank you. It's a wire wrap design. It's pretty clean. My friend Harry Christie, who's based out of New York City, he made this a long time ago for me in 2016, and it's got a faceted
Oh,
garnet.
is this is it the friend who introduced you to minerals or what?
He's one of them.
One
He's
of,
one of them.
and this
It
is the
was
jewelry that they make.
yes.
Very
So it's
nice.
a raw ruby corundum, and then hiding in the middle is a octahedron spinel. So he went with a very reddish purple theme here.
Very nice. That's
Love
great.
that. Thank
That's
you.
yeah, always great for this nostalgic start of the passion. Okay, now we've seen cool minerals, but you have some favorites, I guess, that you can show us now.
Sure.
And what makes them favorites?
Definitely. I've pulled out a few from the cases, and I think I've got enough on them to tell you guys little stories.
Oh yeah, field
This
collectors.
is
Yeah, they have a lot of
here. We'll
stories.
start with see these. These are little gem heliodor crystals. Uh, this one's terminated, but
Maybe you
these
can
come
flip the
from.
camera again.
Oh, you want me to go the other way?
Yeah, flip the camera so you can see because it's not focusing very well.
Here, let's see. And now I just need a better background.
Yeah, just put it down like rotate it. Yeah, yeah. Wow.
Hold on. Yep, it's a mess. Oh, it's not that good.
We only talk 20 minutes. We have to talk more.
Sure. How's the
So,
lighting on that?
yeah, it was great. The lighting is great. So these are heliodors from
These are heliodors from Connecticut. There's a
Middlesex.
few,
What a great
yeah,
name.
Middlesex County. There's a few different localities, and these come from a host rock pegmatite. No pockets, but the past couple of years, friends and I have been digging these, and these were just a few choice specimens that I like to keep around in my personal collection. I just love the color.
So these are found in what kind of rock? Like I mean, pegmatite obviously, but is it chipped out or is it in the clay?
Yeah, they're locked in the host rock. There's no clay, so you do have to chip them out, and some of the specimens look really good in matrix still when they're
Okay.
left, but these popped out, and I'm hoping to get some more larger facet rough so that maybe we
Oh,
can cut a
nice.
couple.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
would be
the
cool.
top left one is facet rough, but I don't want to cut it just yet until I get more material.
Yeah.
Let's see what else I could show you. This is a fun one. My friend helped trim it down for me, but it's this like stepped fluorite on quartz that has some iron staining from Bingham, Socorro County, New Mexico. And so
Nice.
I was mining these right before Tucson this year.
Oh, great.
So I just kind of love how it's perched there. Nothing crazy, just kind of sentimental.
So your favorite rocks have always, because you're a field collector, I guess it's connected to the joy that you had while digging them. This makes them
Yes.
favorites.
I
So
have
let's,
some larger fluorite clusters,
yeah.
but they have damage and such. This is a fun one. This is kind of like an amorphous fluorite that's been etched away. It's pretty gemmy on the inside. It's tough to tell. This comes from the Devil's Head Pegmatite Mining District in Douglas County, renowned locality close to the Front Range of the Denver Metro,
Hmm.
where some large notable topaz discoveries were made in like probably the late 1800s, early 1900s. So
Oh, okay.
people
Oh, that's cool.
people still visit today, and
Do
there's a
you
ton
know
of mining claims.
do you know why it's called Devil's Head?
Um, There's large granite plutons, and they come jutting out of the earth. I would assume there's something to do with those granite rocks and how they appear.
Oh,
You know
okay.
that.
That's
I
good
know that.
information.
Yeah. Here in America, there's so many natural features that have the word devil in front of them for whatever particular reason. The pioneers and settlers chose those names.
To scare
This is
away
another
the
for it.
English. Oh, nice.
Same locality, maybe just a
Slightly
thousand.
greenish, more edge. Oh, there's a window like inside it. I've seen a non-frosted face, a very tiny one
Yes,
though. You can look inside.
good. I'm glad it appears good through the camera because I'm looking at about a 1-inch screen right now. Shall I keep going?
Yeah, sure. We want to see your favorites. We want to see the cool rocks. I mean, not the other not cool. They're great. They're really cool.
Okay, so here's something more uncommon. It's a smoky quartz with a doubly terminated quartz perched on the top that has hematite inclusions. This is also from Devil's Head,
Very cool.
2022. And there was a series of 2 pockets that had this material, the scepters coming out. Here's another one.
Hmm. And these are the best finds, or like there are there more of those?
There was only maybe 6 of them.
Oh,
So
oh, cool.
I have a few,
You have like, yeah, 1/3.
but they have a secondary overgrowth. That's why they're kind of milky colored, but they do pass light. And right
Hmm.
here you can see the smoky section or the smoky core. When should I bring out the topaz?
Depends on if you have more to show.
Um, I could definitely pull out a couple more things.
It's all right. Check it out now. Right about
Cool.
now.
All right, so this is something that it's been under wraps for some time. I made a large discovery earlier this summer, 2024, in the Terriol Mountains of Colorado. A massive blue topaz, naturally etched, almost free of damage.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so this is a major discovery, super notable. People haven't seen a crystal of this quality come out in some time. It's 1,060 carats,
Wow.
and it's from a pocket. I dug the pocket pretty close to the surface. It was under a bush, and it was locked in right next to multiple microcline
Wait.
crystals.
It was under a bush where you found this
Yes,
treasure.
yes.
This is crazy. Wow. So tell us about the process. Yeah, we can use this as an example of your field trips, I think. Tell us, how did you prepare for it, and what was your reaction when you dug this out? Was it the first crystal that popped out, or was there more before,
So
like
it
microcline?
wasn't the first crystal, but we were out there in the region in the Terriol Mountains, a disclosed locality, hunting for topaz. And it was early on in the day. We had not been digging for that long. And I was trying to read the granite and the folds in the granite because there's various empty older muralitic cavities in the same region. So I knew that if I tried to follow the fold in the granite, I could potentially find the next bubble of a pocket. So I dug where no one else had dug before, and it happened to be pretty much under a bush. I had to remove the old grass and the dirt topsoil, and I started coming onto the uh, some rubble like pegmatite chips,
Hmm.
and I knew that there was going to be a pocket beneath it just by the looks of the ground. A tiny smoky quartz came out, and not shortly after, numerous microcline crystals, and I pulled this crystal right here. Nice, clean microcline feldspar.
Hmm.
And that's when I knew that the pocket would be pretty decent sized to fit a crystal like this.
Yeah.
The next thing that came out was this topaz covered in dirt. So there was no clay. The clay had either run off or dried up or whatever. It was more just like dusty dirt. And I pulled this thing out and I thought it was a microcline. I was like, wait, no, it's too heavy, too shiny. Oh, I couldn't believe my eyes. I was shaking. I couldn't believe that this quickly, the largest topaz I'd ever seen in person from Colorado was in my fingertips in the dirt.
Wow. This is just crazy. Congratulations for
Thank you so
this
much.
is wow. I guess it's like your I don't know for sorry. Your
I
best
hope it's not
specimen?
what's that?
Is it your best specimen in your collection?
Oh,
Probably.
it's certainly the best specimen thus far. Hope it's a find of a lifetime. I hope it's not the only one. I hope I do it again. It
Nice.
was not the first time I've been hunting for topaz. I've um I've discovered multiple topaz pockets in the past.
So
Nothing compares to the size of this.
and wow, I mean it's also gemmy and it's just great. Etched. It's not broken. Nice.
Wonderful.
The pocket was just made out of this topaz, some microcline, and what? That's all? Was there more topaz? Oh, okay.
So this was a notable
And the
smoky
smoky.
quartz that came out of the pocket as well. Kind of got a little cathedral termination. But those were the three major things to come out of the pocket.
So there were some more topaz or in the
There was
pocket?
a small piece of topaz, and at this time, my friends saw me pull this, and once I was in the pocket myself, I asked them to come on either side of me and try to locate the next one. My friend found a 500 carat uh, topaz. It was probably in the alluvial. There was no pocket in sight. So maybe that 500 carat wore out from this pocket maybe thousands of years ago and was deposited in the soil close by. But other
No,
than that,
cool.
this was the single crystal of topaz in the entire pocket, and the rest of the pocket it filled maybe one flat. So I have other smokies and a few other microclines, and I have one twinned microcline with a small piece of topaz on it.
Oh, that's cool. Nice.
Partial piece of topaz, not terminated or anything.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
mind my desk. Sorry, it's a little messy.
Wow, great.
And
So
these are
yeah,
natural.
I
So yeah,
can't
this is
imagine the
huge.
joy and like the feeling that you had when pulling this out. Congratulations again. This is crazy.
Thank you. Hold on one sec here. Thanks.
Flip
I'm
the
trying
camera
to get
again. Yeah, no.
there. It is. So I'm going to debut it at the Denver show this year. I'll have it at my booth. I've gotten some photos taken of it. I'm gonna show a few people, and the hopes would be a collector purchases a specimen, donates it to one of the local museums,
Wait, so you
and
want to so someone has to buy it from you to then donate it?
well, if they can put their name on the donation, it would be accredited to them that they donate to the museum. But someone, it'll be a very notable piece in someone's collection if they take this home, and then they use it for educational purposes or historical purposes by putting it in a museum.
You
That
shouldn't
would be
sell
the
it.
goal.
You shouldn't sell it.
You want me to keep it?
Yeah, you should keep
I
it.
don't know. I've been thinking about it.
You can always sell it.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. But sure, I will miss it.
Yeah, we all hope that you'll. So yeah, what's the plan now with the area that you dug it out from?
To keep scouring the area and keep digging to see if there's other pockets located close by. To have the ground has been filed for claim so that we can continue to turn the soil, try to produce more. And then just always on the hunt for the next open area that we can prospect,
Nice.
because it can't be the last one.
Yeah, definitely. There will be a bigger one and a more Jamie one for sure.
Sure. Have you ever gone rock hounding yourself?
No, sadly not. I really want to. I really
Well,
want
if
to
you
find a
visit
topaz.
Colorado, you have an open invite.
Thank you. That would be crazy. That would be great. Yeah. Thanks.
Hopefully, send you home with something good.
Yeah. Actually, I should plan my first rock hunting trip. Can you help me? How do I plan my rock hunting trip?
How do you plan it? What you'd have to do is
What do I
whether
need?
a
What
low
equipment? What everything? Tell me
the
everything about it.
equipment. Okay, where we start is you need to know the region that you're going in the conditions. Are you going up to alpine, or are you staying in lower ground? So always check the conditions before you go out and pack uh, clothing accordingly. You're
Mm-hmm.
going to need a large hiking backpack, probably at least 40, 50, 60 liters. And you want to carry at least 3 liters of water to a gallon. You need stable hiking boots. I prefer a high top, so don't roll your ankles.
Mm-hmm.
And you always want essentials like a first aid kit, a headlamp. You want like a compass, or have your phone to have an offline GPS so that you don't get lost. You're going to want to pack food accordingly, and maybe a rain jacket, and um, long pants that are they're thick, whether like good jeans or Carhartts. You're going to want to have gloves and some kind of eye protection, and even a mask for sometimes respiratory if the ground is very dusty,
Mm-hmm.
dirty, dusty. You're going to want to bring tools. I like to use a 2.5 pound Husky pickaxe. You can bring a small fold up shovel, a long pry bar, 16 to 24 inches. This is for prospecting, going out on
How
day
long is that
trips.
in centimeters? Sorry.
Centimeters, maybe like you want it to be at least 50 centimeters.
Okay.
A pry bar. You want a chisel or a spike with a 3 pound or 4 pound sledgehammer. You want small tools for picking into a pocket to loosen up the crystals,
Mm-hmm.
whether that be um, bamboo chopsticks, skewers, or small curved metal picks,
Mm-hmm.
kind of like a dental pick. And you're going to want to bring material to wrap up the the specimens you find, like newspaper or bags, tin foil. But then if you have a location, say you're developing a new mine, and you've got to be moving a lot of rock, you're going to want like 5 pound pickaxe and a full size shovel. You might want a 6 foot tall steel bar, which you'll use as leverage to move
Oh,
boulders
okay.
that are potentially 500 pounds or more. It all depends on the type of mining you're going to do. Uh, it's great when you can go out with a light pack and small tools and you know you're still going to get stuff, but most of the time you want to be prepared and bring as much material as you can, or tools as you can,
Yeah, so
to
it's
be
better
able
to
to
go
like,
like not alone, so we can carry more and then spread it out evenly.
yes, don't want to always go alone. You always want to let someone know who you're going, and you want to check the laws in your area for collecting to know that you're doing it properly. And you want to learn how to navigate different mining claims, private land. um, National parks are excluded from our rock hounding areas. And I mean, really, the list goes on. So you're going to want to do your homework before you head out. And really, if anyone has any questions, you can always reach out to me. I do the best I can to give you an answer for where I'm located, or just general tips.
Great. Thank you. Yeah.
Of course.
And do you have to know the geology of the region? Is it
It would be
helpful?
good to know the geology, because more homework you do, the more research, the more you'll be able to familiarize and get out there on foot and put that knowledge to the test. So sure, do the research, do the mining history, and gosh, there's so much to learn about the geology in every region. So it can't hurt.
Yeah.
You don't want to go out on a whim. I'm sure there's a lot of people that do just go out. They never even knew they were going to go mining, but they found a cool rock on the ground and they don't know what it is or where it's from. But they still enjoy it, right?
Yeah. Where can I find the literature, the maps, or is there do you have a preferred place where you can look for these things?
Sure, there's definitely different websites that you can check here in the US regarding the federal mining claims and the zones. Really, any Google search from some scientific websites about geologic surveys and such will give you enough information you need about the geology.
Mm-hmm.
I would say I don't know off the top of my head any specific websites to give out for people all over the world, but these are easy internet searches where you can find a lot of information. Try to stay away from the websites that promote rock hounding as purely like a hobby for everybody. A lot of websites will list like, oh, you can go digging in your area, but they don't mention mining claims and they don't mention the ins and outs. They're kind of just telling you, hey, you can go find this here. You should go do it. It was a great time.
Yeah. Okay.
Something like people's like blogs or websites like that.
Mm-hmm.
You want to take the information from a more educational or scientific website, or just well, we have the Bureau of Land Management in the U.S. and
Okay.
that has a lot of information also.
Mm-hmm. And how long should I stay there, or how long do you usually stay at the place? Do you camp out there for multiple days?
Sure, people love to go camp and stay. Um, I like to do shorter mining trips. It'd be great to have enough gear, preparation, go out. My friends do backpacking trips for days on end. Leave the vehicle behind, tent, bring food. But it can be something from a late afternoon adventure if you know where you're going already to a full day adventure. A full day, you're pretty tired. You come back and you want to rest for the next day. But it's
Mm.
definitely fun to do overnight trips and just stay out there in nature and to continue. And the more time you put in, hopefully be the more that you produce or you find.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. So you've collected a lot of rocks, obviously, but they don't come clean from the dirt, obviously. So how do you clean
Typically
them?
not.
How do you clean them?
So it depends on what type of material and where it's coming from because of the different the staining, I guess you would say, that's on it. So there's we use iron out, pretty common to take off iron oxide staining. It'll
Mm-hmm.
loosen it up. You want to always like soak your minerals in water before you start to do an acid bath. We use various acids. Um, Iron out, I believe, contains part oxalic. Then if you want to get a really tough stain off some of the pegmatite minerals we mine, we use phosphoric acid, and that
Mm-hmm.
gives it a really good finishing polish. And then other things take stronger acids. I've been experimenting and being very cautious and taking all the necessary safety steps with ammonium bifluoride, which is similar to hydrofluoric, and
That's
that's
pretty
been
strong.
removing pretty strong. It removes like a thick silica layer on these smoky quartz I've been cleaning
Oh,
recently.
okay. Yeah. I was wondering. Yeah.
But then also you have stuff like different fluorites, like from New Mexico, that we use um, muriatic acid, which I believe is hydrochloric.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so it just all depends what you're trying to remove. Is it a calcium carbonate that we need to dissolve? Is it more of a hematite iron oxide staining? And so I
Okay.
would always use the utmost safety precautions with the proper gloves, eyewear, respiratory, and do it in a safe area outside, ventilated. You're going to want to neutralize the chemicals that you're using with various techniques like baking soda and warm water,
Yeah, so basically
or
some carbonates because
yes,
yeah,
lower the pH or whatever.
exactly.
Yeah, I'm no chemist, but I do try to do my research
Yeah.
and my knowledge ahead of time, and always just double, triple check and be as
You can
cautious
always
as
also buy these
possible.
pH strip test things that you put in the water just to know where the pH is and then neutralize it.
Yes, okay, that's good to know. I never thought about it for rocks
Yeah,
using pH strips.
I
Okay,
had to do some really careful stuff with hydrochloric acid, not fluoric,
hydrochloric.
hydrochloric and rhodochrosite and all that. And yeah, so it's always best to know how much of what you need, so you don't too much or too
Yeah,
little.
measure accordingly.
Yeah.
Double, triple check, and just be safe. And
So
because
after,
then
yeah,
I was saying, you don't want it to end up polluting or making the earth or the water systems toxic either. So it's very important to neutralize, or even some cities have in place a pickup system where they'll come and they'll take your used toxic chemicals or waste for a small fee, and they'll dispose of it properly
mm,
through the city that you
yeah.
live in.
Usually hydrochloric acid is in also in all organisms and in the like 10%. We humans have it in ourselves, so we can just if it's not highly concentrated, we can just flush it down, and it
Just
will
flush it down.
dissolve with the water. But after you soak the minerals there, you should soak them in baking soda stuff.
Yes, neutralize the specimens, and then
Exactly.
always do water rinses over and over on them for extended period of time, double the length that you were doing the acid, because you don't want any of those acids to leach out, especially if you're
Yep.
handling
Yep.
the specimens, or the other people will be handling the specimens you've cleaned. You want to make sure they're safe and they're clean.
Exactly. Great. Thank you.
Of course, you can always learn more.
So you have a role in YMC. Tell us about your role in the YMC organization.
Yes, thank you. Recently, I was nominated to the position of the field trip coordinator for the Colorado sector of Young Mineral Collectors. We've yet to do our first field trip. I know you guys went international to Morocco a couple of years ago, and it looked great. I attended the event where you guys showed the PowerPoint slides of the whole trip and all the excursions. And the goal would be uh, to start doing our field trips here in the U.S. I know a friend is ahead of the one in New York, so you guys will be going to Herkimer. You guys will come out here to Colorado. I'll put the word out and coordinate with various mining claim owners and who happen to be friends, some of them, to get YMC on their claims for educational mining or prospecting field trips. And that would be great. So we're really looking forward to having that happen and get you guys out here. And hopefully it coincides with maybe the spring or the fall show here in Denver.
Great. Thanks for applying for the job. Yeah. We need
Of
more
course,
people.
I'm honored to be nominated, and thank you, my friends at YMC, that helped propose the position to me and consider me. And if anybody has any questions and they want to learn more, they want to reach out and speak to me about the mining here in Colorado, feel free to just contact me.
Yeah, you seem like a very nice guy.
Oh,
From
thanks.
the few minutes that I've met you. What has YMC besides the obviously the role as a field trip coordinator in Colorado, brought to you in general?
I think, well, I know it's brought a great outlet for me to showcase some of my personal collection, self-collected specimens. The past 2 years, I've had one of Graham Sutton's wall cases in the hallways of Mineral City display my yearly favorite specimens that I collected. There's 12 cases. YMC got to pick members to fill the cases in Mineral City, and I took it upon me to use it as self-collected display.
Oh,
So
nice.
you guys have given me an outlet to show the public my little curated case 2 years in a row. Be honored to do it for a third year in a row in Tucson. And I mean, I think it's great. I learn a lot from you guys who know a lot more about mineralogy than I do. And it's a great community that we have access to reach out to, whether it's on the Facebook, Instagram, Discord has been great. I get to see all the group chats, and we just have a lot of there's a lot of people to reach out to if you ever need anything. I think that's really cool. It's a huge community, and the fact that it's worldwide is something that it just makes so much sense. Like we're so connected by the internet these days. We're very lucky.
Yes, definitely. Being yourself, a young person, what would you recommend the new generation, the young people, in terms of collecting or in field trips? What would you recommend, or what do you have to say to them?
If I could say anything to the younger community or the youth getting into mineral collecting or rock hounding, I would say don't hesitate to reach out to other people in the community and ask questions. Ask tons of questions. I didn't know about any of this when I was young as a kid. I started to learn when I was older because people were showing me, and I took it upon myself to reach out and learn the community. And it's brought me so much knowledge and experience. So I'd like to say, don't be intimidated by the dealers. And please, if the youth has questions, feel free to reach out and learn more, because you'll be surprised at the help other people are willing to offer. And that goes for myself the same. If anybody has anything they'd like to say or wants to reach out and learn more, and you're a young collector, please feel free.
This is very important. Always, it's great to have a mentor or someone to guide you through everything and to ask questions. Who's there for you?
Yes,
Very important. Thank you.
exactly. Great.
As a last closing question, where do you plan to dig next? Is there like a great big dream location where you wanna dig some crystals?
A dream location. I'd like to say that at least 10 years ago when I was on Instagram, I came across Patrick Gunnarsson, Crystals of Australia.
Hmm.
And he's a renowned miner and prospector in Australia. And I'd never seen videos of people finding these discoveries. And that really blew my mind. I thought it was super inspiring. I'd love to visit Australia. I know a lot of us in the social media community, we communicate with a lot of people in Australia that mine different minerals, and I'd love to make it over there. Obviously, the Alps, like I said earlier, I would love to visit France and Switzerland for mining. Those are some goals right there, and obviously get back to Brazil. There's some good stuff to be found there also, I think.
That's great. Yeah, I see you have a great future before you.
Oh,
Very
thank you. I
nice.
hope we can work together again and we get you out in the field someday.
Sure, that would be great. And obviously come to Munich.
Yes. Oh, that,
And in
maybe I will. Wait, when is it? It's at the end of October?
end of October, yeah.
Okay. I'll have to attend on foot before I decide to have a booth, but I would love to attend, meet more
Definitely.
people. I
Yeah,
know
we
it's the
need we
premier
need more
show.
and bring some rocks, please. Still. There are people who
Definitely.
like American stuff. You can trade it there and all that.
Sure.
That's
You will
great.
be there.
Yes, yes.
All right. I'll start talking to friends about it. Maybe I can make it happen this year.
If not, next year is always available.
Yes.
Okay.
It's
Thank
great
you.
to look
Thank you
forward.
very much for coming on the show. It was very fun. It was very informative. Thank you. It was great.
Okay, great. I'm excited to maybe do this again someday, and I'll have new material, and we'll play with rocks all over again.
Perhaps. Yes. Thank you for coming
All
on the
right.
show.
All right. Thank you guys, everyone. Thank you, Matt. Take care.
Thank you for watching this episode of Under the Radar. You can check out today's guest through the links in the description below. Tune in next month for another episode and don't forget to like and subscribe so you won't miss any new uploads. Take care and we'll see you next time.